So this quest log here. If the bridge near Twin Falls still stands, you can cross it. Otherwise, you have to find another path. One of these tells us, I thought one of these told us to, oh, here we go. A fragment of the lost pages. If you find more pieces, we'll perhaps tell the rest of it. Best chances are to go through the Arkovian Undercity. So that's how we got here. So see what I mean about the game not holding your hand? Sometimes it gives you just enough information. And sometimes you still have to go look stuff up. Mystic Ribbon of Squalls. Nope, that's all lightning. And this is a secret area. It's going to connect. I thought it would connect over here. Here it is. It connects to right here. It's just a little secret. But if you do find a secret, make sure you destroy all the breakables and try to break all the walls. Sometimes a secret will lead to another secret, and then you can maybe find a lore note or something. Here's a lectern that's going to give us another piece to the piece to the quest that we need here, the Depths of Old Arkovia. And there's two. This is a good area to go through and explore all the levels. Mainly because all these skeletons give really good experience, and there's a lot of them. And here's something that you probably didn't know about Grim Dawn. Not many people talk about it. Arkovian Undead. When you get additional reputation, it gives you extra spawns and additional hero spawns, so that means you're going to get more density, and once you get Nemesis you get a boss to fight. So your density in the game is controlled by how hated you are by the enemy factions. Alright, so it gave us a blueprint for a relic, and the last days of Arkovia, it's a lore note. We already got the guile, so I'll just destroy that. But this here, the last days of Arkovia, we'll read this lore note here in just a few minutes.
Last days of Arkovia. As I write this, dark columns of smoke billow up from the port where the madness long pullulating in the restive populace has finally boiled over. A blazing merchant's galley, abandoned by its crew and freed of its moorings, plows into a group of fishing boats, wood splintering, the fire quickly spreading among the sails. I hear shouting in the courtyard below and the clash of iron not far beyond. A woman screams repeatedly, her words indiscernible. For so long, we feared our doom would come from the barbarous mountain tribes, but in the end, we've been the instruments of our own demise, helped along by the insidious promises of the necromancers. It is not yet 2 moons since the great rituals were undertaken, led by our ever-reaching oligarchs. The rituals intended to bring immortality and ensure the lasting greatness of Arkovia. Ever the skeptic, I figured it for a sham, political theatre at best, but the ritual seems to have been a tragic success. This ritual was the invention of a necromancer named Uroboruk, a man imprisoned in the Steps of Torment, who it is said did not age and could not be killed by any means. The leaders of the 3 greatest houses, including my own patron, Lord Osvegra, made an ill-conceived journey to the tower in hopes of compelling this Uroboruk to give up his secrets. Here, immortality worked against Uroboruk, as he was subjected to the most brutal and imaginative forms of torture that could be devised for a man who could not die. Finally, Uroboruk agreed to instruct them in the ritual, and the oligarchs, blinded by their lust for immortality, were all too eager to believe his will broken and accepted the ritual as genuine. It has become clear that the people of Arkovia have indeed gained a form of immortality, but it is a cruel and twisted fulfillment of that promise. Our bodies still suffer the ravages of time, eventually dying and decaying, whilst our spirits remain trapped within, eternally bound to this land. I have witnessed this myself, as the sick and elderly, near death at the time of the ritual, remain with us yet. Their bodies visibly decay in the manner of a corpse, yet they continue on as though living, able to move and talk, still much the same persons as they were in life, yet not. All who suffer this death of the body become somehow less vital, less dynamic of thought. They become ever more narrowly focused on whatever concerned them most in life. It is disturbing to witness families that do not know what to do with their deceased, yet still present loved ones. More horrible still are the rumors of babies born since the ritual. Abominations, they say, deformed and bearing dark, grisly feathers. It is said that many forlorn new fathers have been seen trekking into the broken hills, bundle in arm, to leave their unnatural offspring to the elements. The din of fighting and wailing continues on below. I expect it shall for quite some time, since the combatants cannot die by any mortal means. I will sit with my books and continue my writing for whatever time may remain. Perhaps all eternity. Theodocus Vagra, scribe of Arkovia.
Alright, that might be the longest lore note in the whole damn game. Here's almost Dread. This is one of the bosses we have to kill. See how my health is dipping down there? I don't have good, don't necessarily have the best pierce resistance, so I get chunked pretty good. And your health potion is just a 12-second cooldown. So what I do here is I leave a, oh, here we go. Oh, it's a double rare, so the suffix and prefix are rare, but this is all the wrong damage type for us. This leads out to the Broken Hills. I'll do this side quest. It wants us to kill Lutra the Abandoned, but I'm going to go down here, get the Rift Gate, and then port back to where I just made the portal. And continue my exploration of the Arkovian Undercity. I see a lot of folks when they play like through on Twitch or other playthroughs on YouTube, they always skip this. Like they'll have 40 quests over here on the side and they're already in Act 4 because all they did was the main story. Thunderstruck, that's going to be lightning damage. I've never actually done a full lore playthrough of the game. I'm actually quite enjoying it, and I uploaded the Act 1 videos a handful of days ago, and they're getting quite a bit decent views on YouTube. I really didn't think anybody would watch it, but now that they are, I'll try to up the production value a little bit. Talk a little more, maybe do a voiceover if I screw something up. But I'm also not the best with some of the tools, so. And for those that don't know, I used to stream this game on Twitch a lot, maybe 10 years ago. I started streaming it on Twitch right when Ashes of Malmuth came out. So it wasn't quite 10 years ago, but it was probably at least 7 or 8. But live streaming just isn't for me. The chat is just too toxic, and you get caught up in doing stuff to try to chase viewership, and just wasn't for me. I don't like to do clown show stuff, and I'm definitely not a clown. So we'll just play and put it on YouTube, and if someone enjoys it, you know, that's great. These are the monstrosities that lore note was talking about, that the parents were packing up and trying to make it to Homestead, leaving their birthings behind. Now we're despised with the Arkovian Undead, so we're going to get increased, some increased density. How much increased density? I don't know really. There's Lados Vagra. Oh, we ran out of. We actually ran out of energy. I need to kite a little more. Wait for it to regenerate some. There. Children, Shield Spectrum. This is a nice cold damage sword if you're a Nightblade. Shadow Strike is your movement ability. It adds a bunch of cold damage to it, so you find a lot of stuff for Nightblade early on, and that's one of the reasons a lot of streamers still play Nightblade quite a bit. Hamilcar plays Nightblade a lot. Renan plays a lot of Nightblade. Hey, people like what they like. For me, I don't like that class so much, but I haven't played a Nightblade in a long time. I am going to do a Phantasmal Blade build soon. See how that does. Plays very similar to like a multi-shot Amazon build in, like, say, Diablo 2, but you don't get an entire screen of projectiles. You might get 6. But they'll do what they call shotgunning, and there we just got respected with the rovers. So now if you were on your first playthrough, you could go buy those blueprints if you wanted. Let's see, double the armor. Less health. Poison resistance. What's our poison resistance? Vitality. See, you trade. Here you get into where you trade one resistance for another. But I am going to equip that because you get more of these damage types early on than you do the bottom row. You get more of these damage types in early Act 1 and Act 2. Even partially Act 3. Act 3 you get a little bit of Aether. Start to get a little Chaos in some parts. But you just have to make trade-offs in your character because you don't have the items to get 80% in all the damage types. You gotta pick and choose. You gotta kind of know where you're going and what the damage types are going to be. Hound's Bite, that's probably going to be... Oh wow, that's a sword for more Nightblade stuff. Nadala's justifiable end is Nightblade. The third boss that we need. Looks like it's Rovina Curve. You know how to say some of these names. And here is the two-handed range I was talking about. +4 to Phantasmal Blade. And then you see the modifiers there. It adds 2 projectiles and gives you Pierce to Vitality and Chaos to Vitality. And Spectral Binding gives you some vitality damage. So if you make a Nightblade and a Necromancer to make a Reaper, this will be really good. Alright, well, we got this, so we're going to equip that. A little bit more Pierce. There's some other components you can get too. You could make a Silk Swatch, which gives you 18% pierce and bleed, and you can put that on your shoulders, pants, and chest. And then there's another item called Soul Shard, which you can put on your rings and amulet to buff up vitality damage, or vitality resist. So there's components you can get, but you just got to have the patterns. And I've been playing for a while, so I probably have 200 Soul Shards in my stash. Guess what I should have done is done a full... Probably should have just done a full save reset. But you get the idea. And then here we're going down one more level, so there's like 3 levels in here. Sometimes there's a chest over here. Yep, here we go. Cool, so next level we'll be able to get 1 point into Menhir's Bulwark. So level 29. There's a boss right here. This is Kilrian, the Tainted Soul. Kilrian. He does vitality damage, so that's what that purple stuff is. Gotta kind of run away if your health potion's on cooldown. It would have been smarter for me to go put some soul shards on my items, but I think I'll be alright. Well, maybe not. Thought that was steps down there. I guess I couldn't get there. All those skeletons healed him to full. I had him around halfway, I thought. Thought he was around halfway, and one of those skeleton priests healed him to full. You just kind of gotta try to kite and bleed him out with your internal trauma dot. Here we go. So here's his monster infrequent that he drops. It's a one-handed axe which buffs Fire Strike for the Demolitionist and Word of Renewal for the Inquisitor. So those two together become a Purifier. Oh, you ding dong. Can I get back in there, or has it ported me out? Alright, well, through the power of editing, we've walked our way back here, and so you don't have to see that. And there's a devotion shrine that I forgot to get. And the Nightblade items continue. Where'd that ring go? Here we go. Amarasta's Flurry, that's a Nightblade skill. There's some pet gloves if you play pets. And this here says it's an upgrade, but it's not. You're going to lose the +4 to Force Wave, and it's not an upgrade. And attack speed doesn't do anything because Force Wave scales off of casting speed, and here's the monster infrequent. I think I mentioned that. Fire Strike and Word of Renewal. So now we're going to go to Broken Hills to see what's up. But now we're out of Arkovian Undercity. We've made it kind of to the other section. We were here, we went through the Arkovian Undercity, now we're down to here. And now we got to just follow these mountain trails around. But first we're going to go speak to Calderas outside of the Steps of Torment. This is part 2 of the quest Old Scars. If you remember, those are the 3 people that we killed in the Arkovian Undercity. So now we're going to go talk to Calderas outside of the Steps of Torment here. And that's north right here. This north passageway. Here's a totem. Good experience early on for doing this. A couple named mobs, well, one. Trapped. I've been playing so long I kind of know what the suffixes are and the prefixes of the things I'm looking for. Protection's nice, gives you resist and increase your armor. I'm going to keep what I got for now though. Blackwatch Seal. Again, this is more Nightblade stuff. Belgothian Shears, that's Nightblade. Clarity of Purpose, I'm not sure what that is off the top of my head. It might be Oathkeeper. I don't remember, I'd have to look it up. Whatever it is, it's not for this class. And this is the entrance. These are the pre-levels to the Steps of Torment dungeon. This actually isn't the dungeon. The dungeon, you have to have a special key called a skeleton key to get in there. And I have plenty of those, but I'm not going to be going in there. I'm just going to slay the Grand Priest Zarzalon. Whoever come up with these names in Grim Dawn obviously doesn't pronounce this stuff. And here's another Phantasmal Blade Arbalist. There's a level 29. Now we're going to get Menhir's Bulwark. And the buff is automatically activated. You see it right here. So the first level gives us 2% absorption, some damage, some stun, some health regen. Good stuff. Higher levels and higher difficulties, you have to worry about reflect. Again, if you're playing an Arcanist, you can just nullify the reflect and not really and then just melt them. It also works good on regenerators. Just nullify the spell and just blast. I normally just run right by these guys, but when I'm leveling, you're looking for three things, right? You're looking for experience, you're looking for lore, and you're looking for items. So the way to get that in the game is to always be killing stuff. There's a devotion shrine down here we're going to go get. We'll kill those guys on the way back. Oh, of course it doesn't cut through. You got to go around. Kind of getting in a little bit of a hurry here. There's stop my recordings in 30-minute segments, so now it's going to be at an hour and a few minutes. So, but through the power of editing, we'll cut out a couple minutes, so it'll be just fine. But you see, we've gotten just a half a level and not really very long at all. Mainly because Force Wave is really strong. And when mobs spawn, you can just hit a bunch of them at once. Alright. Sure-coated kings, what was that? Nice. I think I'll equip that. That battle cry is nice. Where down there it says 10% total speed, so that's movement speed, cast speed, and attack speed. So we'll go up here and kill, get the Grand Priest. I tell you, I can definitely feel the density increase just from getting despised with the undead here. Oh, okay. We'll get this here. Oh, we get some trauma dot. What's our force wave damage? 6725. That's nice. Alright, we got some ectoplasms here. I think I'm good though. I'm going to put some soul shards on there once I get back to town. Maybe make a couple silk swatches. This next guy does fire damage. And he spawns a bunch of mobs too, so. You gotta watch it because sometimes he spawns those priests, and if they spawn those, they'll heal him to full like that one just did. I had him at half health. The priest spawned for 0.1 seconds and somehow got a heal off. I think that's a little BS, but maybe it's just how the fight's supposed to be. Alright, we got a lore note. This right here, if you're a demolitionist in Blackwater Cocktail, this item right here will make you feel like you won the game. Writings of Zarathan. Zarthulzalon.
Writings of Zarthuzelen, the one they call Uroboruk, makes mockery of the guards. The Lord Executioner cut at his flesh, but the wounds refuse to bleed. His limbs grow back, his skin is impervious to flame. I believe the time has come for me to descend into that vile place and deal with the heathen myself. We shall see how he reacts to the cleansing flame of the divine.
So he's talking about torturing that one dude that couldn't die. Or a Bork, or whatever his name was. Alright, so we got a skeleton key and the blueprint to make skeleton keys. That's what we got, but I've already learned it, so just throw that away.
Thank you for watching and subscribe for more.